I'm glad we did the giveaway before that stream. I don't know if you were there last stream. Let's see, what did I lose today? Let's take a look. Jesus Christ, I don't want to say. I lost 800 Bitcoin today. Yeah, that's $16 million. Oh my God. I'm happy we did the giveaway before that stream. I mean, I was right? I mean, I was only right because of experience, right? How many times have we pushed the giveaway, waited till after the gambling, and then I end up losing it all? So it was definitely good that we did it before. But god damn, bro. I mean, like, it's like, the problem is I can't really complain this time around. I mean, I can because I looked at my stats, but there's certain games that I was wrong about. Like Anubis, I'm down a lot. Wanted, I'm still down. Like Wanted still owes me about 2.5 to 3 max wins. I didn't know that. Like remember I was telling Aiden that same thing? I was like, bro, we don't even know. We hit one thing and we think it's done and we need to leave, right? But it's like, we were wrong. I requested my stats. Like Wanted is my #1 game that owes me still. It's like 50 mil. Yeah, in order for RTP to be around what the average should be, I would have to get a $40 million win on Wanted, just for it to go back to 96.5% or around it, to give you an idea of how down I am on Wanted, even after like all the shit that we've hit. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it so uncomfortable. Like I knew over the last like 15, 16 months of gambling, as soon as I hit like month 9 and 10 of just straight losses, right? 10 months of just straight losses, right? Maybe a couple things hit. I knew I'm going to have a couple months of just uncomfortable streams. What I mean by that is, if it's going to go that dry and bad, that means I'm going to have 1 or 2 months where I just hit crazy shit, like 30 mil plus days, right? And to me, that's uncomfortable because I know there's no shot 75% of the people watching understand the context of me winning that, right? They think I just fucking came up 30 mil and plus 26 mil, right? No. That's why it's uncomfortable, right? Yeah. I mean, fuck, even my own friends get fooled, right? I mean, look at X. You know what I mean? X goes through like 3 weeks of terrible fucking luck, and he thinks because I got a couple max wins that I can't understand. This motherfucker, yo, X, if you're listening, bro, you gotta go into my last 16 months of 40-hour VODs. You understand? We're not talking about me spamming one slot for 4 hours and losing. We're talking double slotted up. We're talking 8 figures just down every fucking, or not every day. You know what I mean? Some up and down, but just loss. He saw your Hacksaw stats and thought that was it. Yo, I posted like top 10 wagered games. It wasn't even top 10 losses. So what he saw that he was talking about, he doesn't even know. That was top 10 wagered. That wasn't even top 10 losses. That was just my most wagered games, and I was down on most. If I posted top 10 loss, it's like Stack'em is still at like a 45% RTP. Stack'em's still at 45% RTP. You have to understand, 45% RTP, and I have like 70 million wagered. Like I have like maybe like 50 million, 60 million wagered. You have to understand, 40% RTP is unheard of. It's unheard of. Like in order for me to come back from Stack'em, I'd have to get like 4 or 5 max wins in a row. So it doesn't even make fucking sense. I mean, not 4 or 5, maybe like 2 or 3 max wins in a row. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he has no idea. When's the next Drake stream? I don't know, I kind of just keep that low key, you know what I'm saying? If him and I chat, you know, when we chat, we just kind of, if we're feeling it, we do it. If we're not, we're not. Like, that's kind of the rule I made with Steak too. That's kind of why the Drake thing last time happened. Just like, Steak didn't even know about it, right? That's the funny thing. Steak didn't even connect me with Drake. Like, before Drake even like signed to Steak, he like hit me up on Instagram. He's like, yo, bro, like I was on roulette. He's like, bet on these numbers, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. We started talking, just, it was like completely just like natural. That's how I'm gonna keep it, right? I don't want any like I hate forced events between people. Any forced event you'll ever watch with anybody, even the most like wholesome of streamers, it's just awkward, right? You have to like build that foundation naturally in order for it to come off naturally, right? Like if you look at others that stream with Drake, you can tell it's like silent, nothing's being said, right? It's just awkward. It's like, you can tell it's like manufactured, right? But if you saw like him and I, we were just fucking talking casually, fucking around, right? Like that's the difference. That's why I don't do those like manufactured, like forced setups. I was a crippling addict like myself, quit gambling. Well, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. You already have the first part. If you have that awareness that that's the case, then the second part's will. It's just willpower, right? If you want to, the human body and the brain are capable of crazy things. If you want to, get off. That's how I did it for heroin, meth, gambling, right? Like, well, I guess gambling, I'm back here, but I never went to a rehab or anything. And that's not saying rehab is for weak people. It's not, right? Some people, you know, our brains are all wired differently, right? In places where you excel, I could have, you know, huge weakness. In places where I excel, you might have weakness, but like that doesn't mean anything. But it's like all those things I quit just from willpower. I just knew I'm like, I gotta be done. You have to like know what triggers you to play, right? Some people, and I say this all the time, so a lot of people, I'd say more than the ones that get a feeling to play, they actually get a feeling not to play when they watch me. Now, with that said, that's no justification. You have to understand that's just a band-aid solution, because if I can't be here, there's only a few others that can be trusted to like watch for that. The rest are going to try and trick you in, right? So it's like, you have to get that figured out regardless. You can't use the band-aid solutions, you know? So you have to just cut yourself off from everything that triggers you to do it, right? So for me, with the heroin stuff, right? First thing I did was block every contact. And then I knew that wouldn't be enough, right? Because I just unblock or I just text from like whatever. So then I turned my phone off completely, put it aside for 7 days. So I had 3 days, right? For me, withdrawals were like this for me. It was 3 days physical, 7 days, 3 days physical. It was 3 days physical, 7 days mental. So 3 days of physical withdrawals and then 7 days of mental withdrawals. I needed to stay away from anyone that would hit me up or that I would hit up to get through those. And once I got through that and I was done with the withdrawals, sometimes it was bad. I think the mental went to 14, but the physical was always 3 days, like 3 full days, 72 hours. So mental was like between 7 and 14, but physical was 3 days always for me. Once I got through that, then I like gained some sort of like, you know, coherence and strength back. And then at that point, I just had to stay away from all that stuff, right? For me, I just stayed inside, binged Netflix until I was strong again. And then I started healthy habits. For what? For heroin. So I'm saying, like, you have to be aware and you have to do it. Right? You have to take responsibility. It's like, it's super easy to not take responsibility. Like the first step of stopping anything, right, is taking responsibility. That's why I'm like so against these streamers that like clout chase a bunch of viewers that, you know, don't understand and don't want to take responsibility. They want to just blame others. And then the other streamers, they'll give them that target, right? And it's not out of care or reason or logic. It's out of catering. Right? If they were truly smart and they cared, they'd be like, yo, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, if someone tricked you into it, that's fucked up. That's not right, right? If someone didn't, it doesn't matter. Both of them are the same in the sense where you got to take responsibility, right? For your actions. And a lot of streamers, they love, you know, for the easy views, they sit there and give every viewer or every person in the world a scapegoat because it's easy, right? Everyone loves catering in those avenues, right? Of streamer. But that's what it is. You got to take responsibility for your shit and understand that, right? What made you realize you need to quit? What do you mean? It wasn't about like realizing, like the way I did hard drugs was like, it was on and off always. So I was in school during it. So like I was like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So I was cold turkey like quitting and starting up again in between exams. And then finally I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'm done with this. You know, like I hit a certain like age where I was like, all right, this is like, I mean, it was embarrassing then, but like, this is it. Like if I want to do something, you know, I got to stop because, you know, you can't get anything done. You're nodding off the whole time. So yeah, I just stopped.